Wednesday! Welcome to DMD RPG, your one-stop shop for chaos, shenanigans, and a boatload of fucking bricks. Thanks, Ashley, for that too. I'm your DM Duchess, JenOfThieves. I appreciate you joining us tonight for our premiere of the Midnight World Snare Island. Before we get started, Chef, 9 months, huh? Heck yeah, appreciate that. I just wanted to mention a few things, get the self promo shit out of the way. If you are seeing us on YouTube, this is your first, your second, your third time. Hi, thanks, welcome. Select all that apply. It would be super cool if you would give us a like, a subscribe, a comment, whatever you've got going on in your head. It helps us with the internet gods, and we all know we bow to the internet gods around here. If you want more of us, come join our Discord. When we're not in there talking about games, we're talking about all kinds of things like life and books and pets and wrestling, all kinds of stuff. And we have a Patreon if you want. We offer various levels of membership tiers for as little as $1, and your money just goes back into the channel for books and merch and maps and all kinds of stuff. Thanks, Ashley. I can't talk and type at the same time, apparently, and you are a professional. Tonight we are playing. Don't worry, I got a new name for Ashley. This is actually the second time we've run Midnight World. Rust and Decay is one of the first games that we had on this channel up on YouTube. It's written by some longtime friends of DM Dottie. It has a very special place in our heart, and so I'm kind of honored to get to run it for everyone. If you're not familiar with the game, and just in case, maybe players should pay attention to this really quick. It's basically a psychological cosmic horror type of game with a heavy emphasis on psychological. Characters work through trauma and stress to learn and grow through a mechanic called the midnight clock. You're going to hear me reference seconds and minutes and hours, and that is all part of the midnight clock. Some things add minutes, which add distress dice, which makes things harder, but eventually things get so hard and characters will break and level up. These powers are called dread manifestations. They're all kinds of things, all different types of powers, and they are all some kind of advantage for a cost. And because it's fun, none of my players have gotten to pick their dread manifestations because it makes me happy. Tonight, speaking of, we are joined by Chef playing Rook, the Loose Shock playing Melissa, Ashley the Everything playing Rebecca, Chi-Chi Chai Tea playing Mara, and Mitch playing Brayden. Each of them is playing a stranger on a plane just trying to get to London. So we're going to start off tonight by just, easing into it, going around, hearing a little bit about each character. One by one, we're going to have you tell us who you are, what you look like, Chi, what brings you to London, and how you feel about flying. Rook, start us off.
Hello. My name is Erasmus Westbrook Orson Kirkpatrick, but you can call me Rook. I am, let's see, well, I should say, Rook is a little under 6 foot, kind of heavy set. Uh, we always say never trust a chef that isn't, because he is a chef. I actually get to play something near and dear to my heart. Um, between shipping a chef and chess, that's how he got through most of his early time. Right now, he's actually on a plane to London because he got a final interview slash stage at called the Box Tree. It's an extremely nice career building restaurant in England, and he's flying to London to then rent a car and go there. But super excited, decent guy. It's gonna be fun.
Yay. Melissa.
I'm Melissa Kersey. Basically, I'm 5'6", long blonde hair, usually pulled back in a ponytail. Um, Somewhat muscular with animals most of her life, specifically horses. Lifting up those 40-pound feed bags and 50-pound hay bales, and occasionally the odd round bale she has to roll around. So no, she's got the decent muscles and everything. Um, she dresses She can dress nice, but most of the time since she's around in dirt and mud and everything, she will wear jeans and a t-shirt, whichever is best suited for the job. Reason she's going to London is she's going for a friend's wedding up in Carlisle. So plane trip to London, then she's got to catch a bus and a train, and hope to God she can actually make those train schedules because they're really finicky. Normally they do 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, and then there's just one that does every hour. So, real fun.
Just stressing about trains on the plane. How do you feel about flying?
Fun and fun guy.
Perfect. Rebecca.
Rebecca Call is actually a native-born. I'm actually not going to do an accent. I tried and I kept losing it every 30 seconds.
That's fine.
Um,
We'll use our imaginations.
she is actually traveling back from the States for a funeral. Her grandmother just passed away recently. She is 5'7", has short, recently cut brown hair, and is a writer for her career.
Awesome.
Genre of writing would be murder mystery.
How successful is she?
She has published 2 books so far, a series of 5 she has planned.
Perfect. Mara.
So Mara's like early 30s type age. She has naturally blonde hair, but it's colored right now, kind of like purplish pinkish. It looks like it was recently done because she has enough money to like do it and keep it like looking nice. Um, she is on a plane because she recently got divorced. She got her divorce money back, and she was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna like throw a dart at a map, and wherever it lands, that's where I'm going." So, yeah,
Perfect. How does she feel about flying?
she has no problem with it.
Awesome. Does she work?
Uh, Only when she feels like it, but she doesn't really need a job. She has more than enough money.
That's fair. And last but not least, Brayden.
Braden's a middle-aged man, average height, average build, nothing too spectacular about the way he looks. He grows his beard out, average length, got a bit of mutton chop look going, steel blue eyes. It's like, I'd say 49, 48 years old. And he usually wears like what you'd imagine a private investigator would wear, long leather trench coat, the suit underneath, and the fedora-like hat. The suit underneath's yellow. He's got a black tuxedo over, and his trench coat's just a natural leather. He carries his journal around with him everywhere he goes. The reason he's going to London is there's a woman guiding him towards his goals, the answers he's looking for, and she gave him a note and a plane ticket telling him to go to London.
How does he
So
know
he
the
got on the
woman?
plane. He has met her through his job. He spends time investigating cults and the supernatural and paranormal. Less like Jensen Ackles supernatural and more like H.P. Lovecraft supernatural investigator. So, and this woman in yellow has been his only lead, the only one that's actually given him anything substantial. And he's kind of fallen in love with her. So he's following her, letting her lead him wherever she goes.
Hmm. Sounds like they're
And
gonna be happily ever after.
he met her in Westport in a cult gathering. A lot of the cultists were just insane, so he ignored them, but she wasn't.
Perfect. How's he feel about flying?
He doesn't hate it. I mean, he prefers to sail, but flying is just flying. He's not afraid of height.
Perfect. Does anyone have any questions before we start? No? Going once? Going twice?
Are we in coach or first class?
You are in economy class.
I don't know British Airways. Is that worse? It feels like it's worse.
No, it's basically coach. They call it economy now. I don't think that's any better. But that's what they call it now.
Just because it's cheaper, it's not hot.
It's probably
So-
worse. It's fine. We are gonna start. It's like a 9-hour flight to get to London. I'm gonna start around 4 hours into this jam-packed flight. Kind of just as the restlessness begun to set in. Have any of you taken a really long flight before? Perfect.
Braden's flown from England to Washington.
That is an even longer flight than this one. Perfect. That droning mechanical hum from the flight is kind of like faded into the backgrounds of your mind. It's there, but you don't really notice it anymore. The flight attendants have recently made their last pass for like drinks and trash. They've sort of disappeared off out of the aisle so people can get up, move around, maybe go to the bathroom, maybe stretch their legs if they want to. Mara and Rebecca, the two of you are sharing a row about halfway back in the flight. The third person on your row is just a drowsy elderly man who seems to spend just as much time wiping his nose as he does nodding off. You want to say something, Ashley?
Okay, what I was going to ask, are we on the outside seat?
Yep, middle and aisle. Brayden, you are in the row right behind them with a mother and her young, but like not that young son, who's at least old enough to be occupied by varying sizes of screens so far. He's getting a little restless, but there haven't been any incidents yet. Melissa and Rook, you are several rows back on the opposite side. You are sandwiching a father with a baby. He keeps getting up to pace the aisles whenever he can to try to keep the child quiet. So far, it hasn't been catastrophic. But man, he's just getting more and more desperate. What are you guys doing? Rebecca? Mara?
Rock, paper, scissors for who's on the aisle seat.
Oh, shoot or no shoot?
Okay, it looks like Rebecca won.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got the aisle seat. So immediately, as soon as like we're able to get up and everything, I'm getting up. I'm just going to the bathroom.
Okay.
Just leaving any sort of potential social situation.
Okay. Evens or odds?
Evens always.
Oh man, it's occupied.
I will wait.
Just in the aisle right outside the bathroom.
Yep.
Okay, Mara, what are you doing?
I probably have like a movie playing at the moment, trying to also at the moment avoid talking to people until I get there.
Okay. Brayden.
Reviewing my notes and my journals and my studies.
What are you looking up specifically?
Just reading through them all, nothing specific. Just kind of like, oh, is this wrong? Did I find out something new that corrects this? Going back and reviewing.
The little kid right beside you sort of like looks over his like Nintendo Switch to see what you're reading.
As soon as I noticed the kid looking over, I just slammed the book shut.
Both he and his mom just like
For you to read.
he and his mom both like jump and like double take, and then she kind of like scoops him closer.
Try and control your kid. You really shouldn't be reading other people's journals on the plane.
You're
You see
2
something
inches.
he really doesn't want to see.
You're 2 inches away from him. If you're not supposed to be reading it around other people, maybe you shouldn't.
I
Why
miss
is
the
it so
time when
quiet?
these planes had a smoking section.
It's there's like a quiet hum of conversation, but it's not loud. Some people have nodded off by now. You can he's right behind you. Well, he was right behind you. You could probably hear Brayden get sassy with the kid and his mom. Melissa, what are you doing?
I'm just reading a book. Um, it's historical fiction version of King Arthur story, Serpent and Grail by A. But I just really like it, and I know I'll be able to get through it with this flight.
Okay. And Rook.
Noise canceling headphones on, listening to an audiobook of The Martian by Andy Weir. It is, it really is.
Awesome.
Not a huge fan of the movie, but loved the book.
Melissa, Rook, you guys have anything to say to each other? You just want us to fly in silence? Both of you
Even if we
with your separate books.
can we past, upset baby?
Sure. His dad's got him in the aisle, pacing back and forth.
I mean, you're canceling headphones, so you likely would figure it out easier than me. But,
Not really. He would not start a conversation.
All right.
yeah, I don't know whether than the got a good book, and pretty much leave it at that.
Okay. Well, as the plane drones on, if any of you look out the window, all you can see at this point is ocean. There is nothing in front of you, behind you, to the side, but water. Does that make anyone uneasy?
Water.
I mean, that's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
If there was something else, then I would be uneasy.
As you cruise through the atmosphere, each minding your own business, trying. Oh, we're playing with redeems now. Trying desperately to just mind your own business and stay in your lane and keep from interacting with strangers in this flying tin can. Suddenly you feel a thrum. It echoes through the plane from the rear to the front. It's a sound, but it's so deep and foreign that you feel it more than you hear it. It's definitely enough to break up the mechanical monotony of the white noise from the recycled air. Definitely enough to cut through whatever whispers of conversation you can get. Immediately, the baby in the middle of the aisle starts shrieking.
Hey, Jen, I think you're getting a bit of a video delay on your actual camera because Matt was asking if the audio was lagging for anyone else.
Oh. Okay. Not really sure what to do about that. Let me check my speed.
I feel like there's turbulence from this.
It feels like there should be, like, how before turbulence really kind of kicks in, the plane lifts a little bit. But in the seconds that follow, like, it doesn't drop back down.
Yeah, as soon as the thump sound happens, it's completely forgetting about the fact I had to go to the bathroom. I'm going back to my seat because I paid attention during the safety flight instructions.
Very, very obvious what we should do right now. And Braden's gonna do that. I'm gonna put my tray table up and my seat in the full upright position.
I'm gonna have each of you roll then, because this is all happening very fast. Anyone who wants to do anything in response to this, roll me coordination and vigilance. Mm-hmm. I don't.
Without aptitude.
Aptitudes are listed on your sheet.
They are, and I don't think off the top of my head, unless someone has an argument to make, this would count under anyone's aptitude.
Good with my roll.
Damn.
What was it again?
Coordination and vigilance.
Shit. 60 McGee over here.
One.
Rebecca, you managed to scramble back to your seat, like leaping over other people's legs to just like slide in there. No problem. Brooke, what were you doing in a split second?
Taking my, I realize something's wrong. Taking my headphones off just to see if, is there an overhead announcement going on? Is the, that's not right. Gather info.
Okay. And Brayden, you get the tray flipped up and you are mid-seat belt buckle when every single light on this flight goes dark. Not just the overhead light, not just the aisle lights, not just your phone screens, smartwatches. Everything that was once glowing is now black. And the entire cabin is full of the deepest, most echoing silence. Like this single second drags on forever. And yes, chef. Take a minute for that.
It would take a full minute for that?
Mm-hmm. For your trigger, you add 1 minute. If you click on your token, you can add it from there. It's the middle column.
Right, where did that go?
And just like that moment, the pre-turbulence where everything feels like it lifts up, you all feel suspended. It's only like a fraction of a second, but it lasts so long in your minds before reality crashes back down. Not just reality, but you feel the earth beneath you drop as suddenly the plane is dropping through the sky. There's a cacophony of screams and shouting and panic as the red emergency lights flicker on, but nothing else comes back on. Your phone doesn't come back on. Smartwatches don't come back on. Game systems don't come back on. It is only that dark glow from the emergency lights. Anyone want to do anything?
have the oxygen mask pop down?
Not yet.
I'm just
Is the kid still next to me? Oh,
Freaking
inside
his
of
head
Brayden.
off. That game console has been yeeted onto the floor in his panic.
Brayden's sitting calmly, turns his head to the kid, looks at him calmly, and goes, "We're all gonna die!" And just sits.
The child starts wailing, shrieking at the top of
I'm
his lungs.
assuming I hear that.
You do. Honestly, it sounds like he was loud enough. Almost anyone in this vicinity can hear him.
It's like he's right behind us.
And then Brayden
Yeah.
just sits calmly, holding his book against his chest.
I'm just bracing.
As you start to hear over the screams and the shouting and the panic and like the flight attendants scrambling through the aisles, you start to hear the moaning of metal as it strains against opposing forces. The oxygen masks finally drop down from above you, swaying in the aircraft, jerking from side to side, possibly the only indication of just how violently this aircraft is shaking. Anyone who wants to grab one, we're going to test roll coordination and reaction. Yes, Chef?
While doing that, if I look out the window, I know where normally I would see like the horizon a ways off, but it would be horizontal. What tilt is it at now?
It is hard to lock your gaze on it because it seems to be shifting so much. You see like the blur of darkish water, you see like an angle of the sky and back and forth.
And you said coordination, resilience,
Reaction.
reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's a 0.
Ashley, you try to grab that oxygen mask, but every time your hands go to grasp it, it just jumps out and flops around, hitting Maris and knocking that out of her hand too. Like it's just a war of oxygen masks, and you're both grabbing and reaching, hands like slapping each other. Melissa, you were having trouble juggling your book and trying to get the mask as like the dad and his baby are like flinging themselves into the aisle right across your laps. Rook, you managed to grab a hold of it and put it on if you choose to. As you're careening through the sky, bags are flying out of the overhead compartments, clattering onto the floor. One completely takes out a flight attendant as she falls face first, unresponsive, sliding back and forth across the aisle. Blood and screaming under the dark red glow is the last thing you all remember before everything goes black. And when you wake, you don't really wake like you wake out of a sleep. There's nothing, and then suddenly there's existence. I'm going to have each of you roll 1d10. And this will be the amount of health you wake up with.
Hey.
Melissa, you can add, I believe it's +3 for your privilege.
Okay.
Is slash roll?
Mhm. Perfect. Mara, as you wake up, you feel pain, but it's kind of far off. You've led a charmed life. You haven't known a lot of physical pain. So that's kind of new. What are your first thoughts?
I'm confused as to what just happened. Um, that's probably first thought, and then like look around to like see like am I still on the plane or what's going on?
Okay. Rebecca, you wake up, your side, your arm, something on the right side of your body is kind of sore. It hurts a little when you breathe in and breathe out. But have you really been injured before?
Not like that.
What are your first thoughts when you start to wake up?
Fuck, it feels like I just got hit by a semi truck. What the fuck followed by what the fuck happened? Followed by where are we? Where am I?
Brayden, as you wake up, your head is pounding. Worse than the worst hangover you've ever had in your life. Your legs feel aching and stiff. Your hands feel like you've gripped something for hours. What is the first thing you think of?
My tobacco. Where's my tobacco? I need to find my suitcase. Oh, my back. As I'm just stumbling around.
Okay. Melissa, you've been hurt before. What's the worst you've ever been hurt before?
Uh, Kicked full force in the stomach by a full-grown horse. Standing about maybe 5 feet away from it, it got the full extension.
And for a second,
The worst place to. Uh,
you're so confused that you think you're back then. Like sunk deep somewhere in your memories where that was brand new and fresh. But as the fog starts to clear from your mind, you realize it's not just your stomach.
Mhm.
Your back hurts, your arms hurt, your head is pounding. What's the first thing you think of?
I asked where I am, like how I'm laying on the ground, whether or not I can actually move my fingers, toes, basically do a body assessment of how bad the damage is. Yeah.
And Rook. Are you accident prone? Have you been in a lot of accidents?
Accidents? I've been on the receiving end of a childhood spent in several different kinds of institutions and, you know, spending most of my life in a professional kitchen. So I've been hurt quite a bit. Um, I've lost fights. I've had stuff fall on me.
This is different. You've been cut, you've been burned, you've been punched, you've been hit, you've been restrained. This is like all of that at once. You know the searing pain running down your left side. You know that is probably not from something blunt, probably not from a punch. It feels sharp and wet, like your flesh has been torn open by something. Your left leg is nothing but pain. If you had to picture it in a color, it's not even red, it's white hot and agonizing. You try to move your toes, they don't really. You feel the slightest response, but you can barely move it. And as you all lay there coming to your senses, the first thing you notice is this deep, repetitive roar. It seems to fade in and fade out, fade in and out. And as your eyes start to open, all you see is the sky of dawn or dusk. The sun has started dipping down below the horizon. Melissa, you instinctively know, without even really having to think about it, that wherever you are, whatever is happening, you maybe only have like an hour, hour and a half before the sun goes down and it's completely dark.
Okay.
And as you kind of look up, there's a strange tinge to the sky, kind of an orange. And if you want to sit up and look around,
Can I?
Ow.
you can very carefully.
I'm gonna make my way to my feet as carefully as I can, nursing bruised ribs and everything. Um, and then just kind of look around, try to figure out where I am, if anyone else is still alive around me.
And as you sit up and actually stand up, you notice that you're actually surrounded by water. You have somehow landed, all of you on your backs, in the middle of a mound of sand scattered across this little bay. Off to the east, not too far, but too far to swim at this moment. You see a small pillar of fire, the silhouette outline of what you might imagine is plane parts. And to the west, you can see past the rocky cliff face, past a bank of trees, a huge column of smoke. But there's no fire around any of you. Just each of you deposited neatly in a small bank of sand.
As soon as I'm on my feet, I'm gonna go over to whoever looks the worst, and based on the descriptions, probably Rook.
That would definitely be Rook. He is across some water though. If you take a look at the map, Rook is the furthermost north. The green icon there, kind of separate from everybody else. Rook, do you say anything?
As I'm waking up, I probably start swearing.
Swearing, incomprehensible moaning, sounds of discomfort.
Hold on one second. I actually have somebody else in this room that I don't need to be swearing in front of.
Wait,
Someone who should be in bed.
Yes, someone who should be in bed. Oh, mother fucker, son of a bitch. I try to move my arm and at least, like, I've been cut and I've been stabbed before. Never like this, though. But I'm trying to feel, like, the extent of the injury and, like, how much blood is soaked through it, like, through my shirt and my coat.
all of your clothes are a little damp, but it's not all from blood. There's just the kiss of water from the wet sand you had been laying in. But as you brush your hand across your side, your fingertips run across the jagged edge of something metal.
Oh, look, I've been impaled. We. Uh, I start trying to, like, feel the shape of what this is. I mean, I'm trying to look over without moving too much. I'm already running on the assumption that I've either broken my leg or done something similar. But right now, the concept of doing anything from the waist down is pretty much a no-go.
Do you look at it?
Yes, I do.
Ah, that shit snapped. Like tibia and fibia are at the wrong angle.
Making a right-hand turn out of a left-hand lane. Got it.
And
I-
as you like kind of like run your hand around along the metal, you can get the sense that it's not like you're not so much impaled as it kind of hit you and stuck in there maybe an inch or so.
Okay.
Everybody else, what are you guys doing?
Okay.
Very carefully get up. I'm not an old man, but I'm not young either. Looking around, it looks like everyone's separated by a good distance of water from me.
It is. You're a little bit isolated.
Well, suppose I'm in no shape to swim right now. Let's see, can I find a way up? Looking around the rock, maybe there's a path up cliffside.
Roll me. Let's see. Roll me acumen. Acumen and wit.
You won.
You're not really sure from exactly where you are. If there is an easy way up, you do see that, like, if you glance up, the bank of cliffs kind of comes to a sloping end. But it seems like you may have to either swim or walk across some deepish water to get to the flatter area.
Least resistance, it seems. Well, that way, I suppose. I'm gonna start walking in that direction. I am gonna look around for like a stick to use a cane.
Where you are immediately, there doesn't seem to be anything but sand. Just sand and water.
I'm guessing it's down here in the southern part.
Mhm. Yep, down there.
Try and make my way there.
Okay. That will take you a little bit of time, and I'm gonna have you roll. Since you're fighting against sand and the tide, I'm gonna have you roll strength. Strength and endurance. Mara, what are you doing?
I'm going to get up carefully and um I'm going to probably look around to see like who's by me and uh kind of see if I can check on the people who are close enough by me that like I can actually like maybe like actually talk to and make sure they're okay.
Okay. As you glance around, the nearest people to you are Melissa and Rebecca. Uh, Melissa looks pretty hurt. She looks like she's in pain. Rebecca, not fine. But out of the two of them, Melissa is definitely looking more rough. If you are careful, you think you can probably get from little sand mound to sand mound without dropping too deep into water.
I'll go do that. See if I can try to get over to Melissa.
Okay. Have you roll for that too. We'll just get some practice rolls in here really quick. You know, before things actually try to kill you. Give me coordination. Give me coordination and endurance. Because you're also fighting against some current. Brayden, you try to trudge your way But between the old man bones and the injuries from what you're guessing is an actual plane crash, you kind of end up bogged down shin deep in just ultra wet, soggy sand. So does Mara. She tries to take a running leap to get from her little sand mound to Melissa's little sand mound and comes up far short, dropping down into her hands and knees, just getting soaked the entire front of her clothing. Melissa, what are you doing?
I'll sit up, assess the situation, see if I can figure out where I am, at least immediately and everything, but where I am in terms of locating what comes in there, maybe then who is around me, if there are any other survivors. It seems like Mara making the splash. So I know that, so yeah, we'll around seeing Mara.
You're breaking up a whole bunch. What was that?
Oh, uh, I'll sit up and I'll look at Mara and I'll just ask her.
I was just trying to help see if you were okay.
Worse. I've also had less worse, but yeah, no, I'm okay.
Okay.
She may be lying, she may not be.
You've had worse than a plane crash.
Mother's Day.
Too many limbs here.
You
Damnable water and sand.
you guys are welcome to see Rook struggling to move and cursing like a sailor, or Brayden stuck and what is ostensibly quicksand at this point. But Melissa, you don't recognize where you are beyond. Obviously, you're in water. Obviously, there's a shore right there. Obviously, it's kind of late in the day, but you don't know if the day is ending or starting because you have no context at this point. But if the day is ending, you know you may have to consider survival measures, at least until you can figure out more of what's going on.
Right.
Anyone who
Okay.
had their phone on them, if you pull it out, they are cracked. Every single one of them. Cracked and burned and covered in goo, and not a single one of them turns on.
I should have brought my Nokia.
I guess I'm gonna need to buy a new phone now.
I'm literally gonna take my phone and just toss it into the water. Be like, well, I can get a new one.
All thanks to an anonymous gifter handing out subs like Santa Claus. Thanks. Whoever you are, mystery figure.
It feels like a very Beals thing.
It has been a while since he dropped subs all over the place.
Well, that's a no-go. I'm gonna go try to help him. And just pointing at Rook.
What
What
the hell?
is it to swim?
We're gonna call that strength endurance. to cross that distance.
It's the thing.
I see nothing. Well, you're working on that. Brayden, would you like to continue to try to struggle for the shore, or do you want to try something different?
Made it this far, I gotta keep going. I grab onto the rocks of the hillside and try to pull myself.
Okay.
Didn't change even though it rolled twice.
Oh, I mean, you are just rolling with like 2 dice, so
Same roll.
that
Strength
checks out.
endurance.
Yep. Mara, Melissa, you see Rebecca like climb into the water and start to swim. She's not drowning, but she sure isn't getting very far. Little feet kicking up behind her, arms paddling just as fast as she can. But there's something about either she's just not very good at swimming, or maybe the injuries she sustained in the crash? Something is happening and it is not working very well. Brooke, you see a would-be rescuer dive into the water, Baywatch style, coming to get you. They're coming to get you.
Start doggy paddling.
They're still coming. They're still coming.
Slow and steady.
Try better.
Brayden eventually fighting against the sand and the surf and gravity itself. You manage to get yourself at least to this little, you can move yourself to this like little sea soaked shore if you'd like.
Progress. You see, that old adage. Wait, there's no one here. I guess I'll keep going.
Brayden, why do you have 7 seconds?
Oh, I marked that as my health. I thought you said the middle one.
Nope, it's seconds, minutes, hours. Your health, just do that scrap paper or something. All right. You want to try to keep swimming, Rebecca?
I do.
Just
Give it a
keep
go.
Swimming. Just keep swimming.
At least,
Can I identify,
Mhm.
At the one.
Perfect. Can you identify what?
can I identify what the hell is in my side?
You can't
Or
really
is
get a
it
good
just
look at it, but it's a thin, like crinkled piece of metal.
a debris?
Debris.
Yes,
Yes.
one of the debris. All right, Rebecca, eventually, and thankfully most of you don't have enough minutes at this juncture to have stress dice. You eventually get there over to Rook. Mara and Melissa.
Feel like Mark Watney.
What are you guys doing? Left all alone on your little island.
I'll probably since Rook doesn't look the greatest, I might just see if yell over to the other person who went over to him that I don't know yet if she thinks she needs any help. Because
Well,
I'm not gonna, with the trouble I had trying to get over to Melissa, I'm not gonna at the moment just go over there if she doesn't think she needs help.
what do you say? How do you ask her?
uh, hey, you over swimming to the really hurt person. Do you need any help?
I will let you know as soon as as soon as I get up close enough to be able to make out entries. Oh fuck!
At that
Screw
response,
you too?
at that response, I'm like, like, guess I'm gonna see if I can make my way over there.
Rebecca, roll me acumen and wit to assess the situation really quick.
One,
It's not good.
it's not good.
That is just a little piece of metal sticking out of that man's side, and the leg shouldn't bend that way.
His left leg is going like his left leg is bending left at the knee and then right at the ankle.
Things are
It's
wrong.
worse than that.
Things are real wrong.
Give it to me straight, Doc. Will I ever play the violin again?
The violin, maybe. The track star, no.
All good. I hate track. Tried to make me do that one time.
And I'm gonna try to pull myself up onto his little sand bank here, and
Yeah, you can do that. No problem. You did the hard part.
where
Is there-
exactly is the metal stabbed into him?
It's in his side, like
I left
horizontally, just below his ribs.
in one of those places where I store all my organs, my
Yeah.
insides that are slowly going to become my outsides if this comes out wrong.
So I would like to.
If you are going to say anything other than make the pain stop, I swear to God, I am going to hit you with something the second I get something to hit you with.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off my little cardigan and start trying to make a makeshift tourniquet around his midsection before I grab that and pull it out.
It's like a pressure dressing situation, not really a tourniquet. Okay.
Yeah, a tourniquet.
Yeah,
trying to-
semantics. It's fine. We get it. No problem. You get it wrapped around his middle. You loop. You pull tight.
Oh, you're really gonna want to
I'm
breathe
sorry. What's your name?
Rebecca. Yours?
Okay. You can call me Ro. I wanted to ask so that way I can do this properly. Fuck you, Rebecca. Okay, there we go.
Did he scream "fuck you" loud enough that we could hear it all along the side?
Did you scream it?
The general fuck yous and everything, yes. Using her name, no.
So you
That's
definitely
intimate profanity.
you heard him screaming in pain and protest and discomfort and hating life. For sure.
Yeah, that one really fucking hurt.
You can hear Brayden shout out from basically across this little bay.
All right, so am I able to determine like roughly which direction that came from?
Oh,
Like,
sure.
left versus.
Like you're not.
I flip. I can't see that person, but I flip the bird in that direction.
Not even look in your direction. Try to find a way off of this beach.
Do you have a plan for where you're going after if you get off the beach, Brayden?
Rebecca's looking better than
You know, he's just going. He's taking everything step by step at this point. He got a little humor out of someone screaming out in pain. He assumed they fell down or something, or someone punched him.
Okay. So if
Not really paying attention to any other survivors. They're strangers. Why does he care about that?
you're just basically coasting along the terrain, you can basically make your way up and out of that bank, for higher ground, if you would like. Like probably like there somewhere. That's fine.
Just sit against the rock and rest.
Okay.
God, I wish I had my pipe and some tobacco right now. Goddamn plane crash. Do I have any injuries that I would notice now that I'm actually sitting and checking myself out?
You
Clearly
do.
your sense of humor's gone.
You do have injuries. I honestly forgot what I told you. You maybe have some broken ribs, or if you've ever had a concussion, you have a concussion. But if you've never, everything's just kind of foggy and your head is pounding.
17 and living on the streets for a few years. Braden's been beat up by some vandals.
Your
So he
your
knows what a concussion's like.
your limbs feel a little disconnected from the rest of your body. Everything feels like it takes a little extra effort. That is definitely a concussion.
They need to stay awake. But a nap sounds so good right now. I gotta get back
Hey,
up. Stand back up and against the rock for a minute.
Melissa and Mara, you can kind of hear the gravelly old man voice. You're not sure exactly where he meandered off to, but he seems to have gotten pretty far off on his own.
Jen, you have 4 Patreon bricks to throw out as you see fit, according from Glenn Dizzle.
Okay.
I think she's doing fine on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She didn't so much throw stuff at us. She threw us at at an island.
I'm actually kind of
The island won.
too. As soon as the pressure dressing is secured, Brooke, I'm sorry, this is about to hurt.
Yeah.
Bite your teeth and bear it for a second. And I just grab the metal and pull.
Please, having had this exact thing happen to me, please God tell me she gets the whole damn thing out in one pull and doesn't like carry it even wider trying to fix it.
I'm gonna have her roll. We'll see.
Usually I'm gonna roll strength, coordination.
I'm gonna call it coordination, composure. Man's life is in your hands.
That's true.
She does. She gets it all out in one.
As soon as the metal is out, I slide the knot of the pressure dressing down over the wound to try to soak up blood.
Okay. As you
So Jen, I was gonna ask, how big a wound are we talking? Like 3 inches, 6 inches, 2 feet? How big is this gash down my side?
it's horizontal. So it is
So
basically
it's like,
the depth of your body.
so it's like someone took a sword and swung at me
Yes.
at
Huh.
okay.
About 1 inch in.
Maybe I really shouldn't have pulled this open. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna call right below let's call that about 10 inches of pain. And we're trying to remember how many arteries are around there.
Arteries, not that many.
Thankfully,
You're like
it's
hepatic
not
arteries in
fatal.
there, but it's not like your aorta. That's in the middle.
Out of character, chef. Thankfully, that area is not very fatal. In character, not a fucking clue. I'm a writer.
Not immediate. Well, no, you're horror mystery. You would have done research on exactly how someone got murdered.
But, yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know what Jen's rolling for, and I'm concerned because the numbers are getting bigger.
They are.
I had to account for something special.
Oh, no.
Blood loss or infection?
Oh no.
There.
As Melissa and Mara are sitting there on their little island, minding their own business, it seems like, and Melissa, you are not really a beach girl so much as you are a woods girl. But you've never really seen anything quite like this before. It's like from off in the distance, a wave picks up and rolls towards you. It seems like it's out of nowhere. There's not a really stiff breeze. And if you look up, there's some really dense clouds in the distance. But they're in the wrong direction to generate this wave itself. And as you stare at it a little bit confused, it barrels into you, somehow missing Mara and heading straight for you, knocking you not just down, but straight, flat on your back into the water.
Okay.
Doing 2 more damage as you hit the water, wind knocked out of you.
First it was a regular horse, then it was an air horse, now it's a sea horse. Fire horse is next.
And as you kind of patch him up, Rebecca, you realize that you have,
Don't you dare.
doing this, patching him up, sliced the palm of your hand clean open. Doing 2 more damage to you too.
Okay.
Here.
Mira, you watch this wave seem to roll past and target your fellow islander, knocking her forcefully into the water.
Need some help?
I
Blub, blub.
sit back, I'm uttering, I get to my feet, and I, I'm fine.
Can I try to like
That was weird.
see if I can like reach her hand to get her back on, like not just in the middle of the water?
If you kind of get to the edge of your little lily pad of safety, you can absolutely grab for her hand to help her back up into the sand.
I'll do that. Here, grab my hand. I can pull you up here.
Okay, I will take her hand.
I'm not gonna make you roll. You climb back up to safety, but then you're both just kind of back where you started.
With where Rebecca swam to, can I the landscape will, since due to the streaming and I'm guessing I just cannot probably seaworthy. Let's just say that. So an easy way to get to land or would that
That cut out a whole bunch. You're just looking for
Oh.
like a way to get out of the water onto like that shore? Is that what you wanted?
Oh yeah, I was asking if with where Chef and Rebecca's character are, would it easy for them to land, or they have to come back to us?
They'd have to, as far as you can see, come back to basically probably the path that Brayden took to disappear off to wherever he disappeared to.
Okay.
Maybe there's something else like around the cliff along the shore, but you can't see from where you are.
Okay.
If I look around, can I see
I
where
will-
Brayden is? Sorry.
You caught a glimpse of him last when he was over here on this little like sandy, shorey portion. But since then you're not really sure where he went to. You could call out for him if you wanted to, but you don't see where he is.
based on just like hearing him behind me, I'm probably not going to call out for him because I don't think he'll respond. But am I able to try to make my way over towards that kind of section area?
Toward the shore or toward Rook and Rebecca?
I'll go to towards the shore.
Toward the shore? You can. You're gonna have to swim. You taking Melissa with you?
Uh, or yeah, I'll see if she wants to come with to try to get over there.
You can talk to her.
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Melissa. What's yours?
I'm Mara.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You think they're
which
gonna
one-
need some
Sorry.
underwear? Sure. Fine. We think they're gonna get back over here.
I'm guessing they'll probably need some help over there. But should we also see what that old man needed on the other side?
Probably. You know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Yeah.
Melissa, you can tell you're not sure how badly Mara's hurt, but you are almost certainly hurt more.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll probably realize I'm not much in terms of health, so that's probably easier for me to just.
Why don't you go over to shore? I can see if I can make it to the other ones who are more hurt.
All right. Have fun and good luck. Hopefully, you're a better swimmer than the other person.
We'll see. But the water seems kind of weird. Hopefully it doesn't take you out
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Brayden, what are you doing? You just resting up?
Resting for a moment, and then you soon start moving again. One step and then the other. Gotta stay awake. One step and then the other. Gotta find something to do. Firewood. That's what I'll do. You start looking around for a little bit, and he's just gonna fall on his back to the ground, passed out.
Okay. You guys hear just carried on the wind one step and then the other, like a chant, and then all of a sudden there's just silence. Mara, give me a strength endurance for your swim. Melissa, give me a strength endurance for your swim.
Should I only be seeing strength, or should I be seeing two options?
What do you mean?
It's one
I'm
that
just like-
submit and the other than submit.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Endurance should be the second selection.
I see.
Awesome. Mara, you're kind of worried about how this is gonna go, having seen Rebecca struggle. But you're no stranger to like a beach day, you know? You dive into the water and kind of like seamlessly swim your way right over to meet them. Melissa, it's a little bit of a struggle. You're not okay. Everything hurts and life sucks. But you managed to get feet on solid enough ground over there by the shore. You can put yourself over here if you look. Right there.
Over where?
Mara, as you climb up onto their little sand bank, you smell so much blood.
Fast.
Well, what can I do to help out with everything going on here?
As far as the lake goes, I don't know if we can do much right now.
Okay, listen. Here's what we're gonna need. One, we need to do the best to staunch the bleeding of this gash in my side. Two, we're gonna need something to brace my leg. And since we all know I'm not gonna be able to swim, we're gonna need some kind of flotation device to help us float, sort of like kickboard paddle style, from here to whatever beach may be nearby. I honestly can't see it from where I'm laying, and sitting up is a really, really, really bad idea. So, number one, either tear my shirt off or whatever we've got, try to pack that into the wound. Right now, the thing that's most likely to get me is either blood loss or infection. But we need to do something to get my leg stabilized so that way I don't cause even more damage moving through the water. Because the tide's
I
going to come in sooner or later.
As you look around, there is no branches, no pieces of tree, nothing sturdy enough that you can tell from the movies or whatever to make a splint out of.
at that point when he said, pack the wound, and he said you can use my shirt, use his shirt. Like, I'll do what I can to try to like rip part of his shirt off and try to use it to pack his wound.
Significant profanity is having my shirt jerked in any way makes the side wound hurt an awful, awful lot.
Well, the good news is it's already kind of ripped, so it's easy to tear.
There you go. See, I started it for you. You're fine.
I appreciate the assistance.
Our best bet for anything to use to stabilize your leg and use the flotation board, probably up there.
Do we have anybody on the shore that could, I don't know, push a fallen tree into the water that one of us could retrieve?
I think that old guy went up there.
Was
Know how
he
much
the one who screamed, "We're all gonna die"?
Oh, he was the one right
Unfortunately, yeah.
Of course. Okay. Look, I'm losing a lot of blood, so I may black out soon. Even if we don't set my leg out here, we're gonna have to do something to immobilize it. We can work on setting it whenever we're on dry land. And then we can see about getting water or something hot enough to clean these wounds on my side and your hand. Because seawater has a ton of bad stuff in it. I once got nicked after cleaning squid. My hand swelled up like a baseball mitt. Bad stuff. So,
Any path to that.
blood loss is a bitch.
It is.
Melissa, as you make it to the shore, you can clearly make out fresh footprints. So you see the direction at least that Brayden started off in. What would you like to do from here?
Okay. I will find him. Or at least follow the trail.
You follow the trail up like a short little slope around some rocks, around some sand, and you see a toppled body on the ground.
Yeah, I will definitely go over and make sure she's breathing, then try to if I can
Try to what? I'm sorry.
How does Oh, I'll see if he's breathing and then try to keep him conscious.
Okay.
Back his cheek a little bit.
Give me a acumen and wit roll for your first aid. Nice. He's definitely breathing. He's definitely alive. You pat his cheek. He kind of comes to a little bit, but he's sort of confused. You've seen head injuries before, considering there's not a lot of visible bleeding. Maybe he hit his head or something. Before or after, you're not sure. You found him on the ground. Brayden, you kind of come to half smacked in the face.
Waking a man up, slapping him across the face. Who are you?
My name's Melissa. Can you tell me, sir?
I'm Braden. Thanks for helping me out, but I really gotta go off. I'm sure you're a wonderful person, but I got places to be, things to do. I'll see you somewhere else. Bye.
Oh, he tried to stand up, but keep him down because head injury.
You've seen some head injury. This man clearly doesn't know he was first in a plane crash, and now he is stranded on some kind of shore. He is obviously confused.
Do it.
I'm keeping down. You might have hit head because we were in a plane crash and wandering.
Are you gonna try to?
Place.
Out. You just said you hit your head. You have a concussion. Do you know what a concussion?
Yeah, a little bit of brain injury. I've had a few before. Got curb stomped and punched in the head a few times. It ain't no thing. I'll walk it off.
You think you can walk him off? Walk it off. I'm still gonna follow him. Falls unconscious again or physically fall from.
So do you get up, Brayden?
Yeah, I get up.
What do you do when you get up?
I passed out. What? Firewood. Yeah. All right. I see there's some trees over there. I'll look around there.
You do, as you're kind of on this raised area, you see a flat ground that's mostly sand. There's some like scrub across the ground. There's a smattering of trees, but off a little bit in the distance, the trees get more and more dense. Melissa, with your wilderness specialty, I'm just going to say that you probably know if you're going to find dry enough wood for fire, it's going to be deeper into the trees. All of this is just slightly damp from waves at this point.
Right. Yeah, I will just make sure to follow him. Keep an eye on him.
I don't go near. Thing. Sure.
Just wandering around after this little old man.
Up little pieces of driftwood on my arms.
All right. Rebecca, Nara, Rook.
Would I be able to overhear their little shouting conversation?
You can hear voices in the wind, but you can't see where they went off to.
I'm gonna call out to the voices on the wind because I don't know their names. Hey, you two! Can you find anything to help stabilize and immobilize a leg? We've got one guy down here passed out from blood loss, I think. He was talking and then passed out.
Mind of them. We got our own problems. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I look at the driftwood in his arm. Is there any piece that would be straight enough or long enough to brace?
Sure. At least one of those pieces you think could probably make do for a brace.
Want to take my firewood? I gathered this. You just followed me around, twiddling your thumbs, and now you want to take what I went and got to help people I don't even know.
Where's the horse whip when you need one? God. Okay, fine. I will go look for a piece of drift that is not yours.
It doesn't take you long. They're scattered. The further like into the cliffs you get, the less there are, but you could find one or two.
Okay, I'll pick one up and I'll make my way along the shore to where they would be about and see if I can potentially drop it down to them.
Sure. You can tell as you kind of make your way along the edge that the elevation creeps up and up. But you're pretty accurate when it comes to like guessing at what point you should probably turn into the cliffs. So if you kind of like make your way around at least to there, you should be able to get a pretty good view of them from above.
Braden just takes his pile of driftwood around the corner, drops it, and starts like rubbing two really damp sticks together because he has no survival skills.
You're so sure, like you've seen this in movies, like you've read about it, you're gonna definitely get it. Like if you just rub fast enough and hard enough, you're gonna make you some fire. It'll be your fire and no one else's fire.
It'll be his fire. I must steal the fire.
Settle down, Icarus. All right. Prometheus, that's the one.
Stole the fire.
Prometheus.
I mean, Icarus also got in trouble with the fire.
Icarus flew too close to
Stun
the sun.
fire.
Fun as fire.
Gee, where's the beak here? Okay. So if you look down, Melissa, you can clearly see Rebecca and Mara and Rook passed out there. They don't immediately see you from above. You might have to shout down.
Yep, I'll signal. I'll also get just any way to get their attention, and I'll pull out the stick of them and do my best to drop it and really not hit Rook.
I can't feel it. It's not like you're gonna break it worse or anything.
I mean, you drop it and it just kind of splashes in that little pool of water, like right above them. Nobody gets hit. It's totally fine.
I'm gonna grab the stick or the piece of driftwood that she dropped down, lay it against his leg, trying to cover as much of the broken area as possible.
As you
I'm going to rip up more of his shirt and try to help tie that on.
As you reach down to grab the driftwood from the shallow little pool of water, your fingertips brush something cold and smooth just underneath the surface. Doesn't
The other hand in and grab that too.
As you reach in and kind of start to tug, you see kind of like a rusted olive drab metal case. Not small, like the size and shape of a briefcase.
You didn't have a briefcase with you, did you?
No.
I'm gonna hold the briefcase up. This was in there in that little tide pool as well.
It actually looks like it's been in there for a while from the level of corrosion that you see. And Mara, as you see her lift up the briefcase to kind of show it off to you, on the side facing you is an eroded white plus sign.
But there's a plus sign on it.
Oh, it's first aid. Cool. Um, this will
But
be
that's
useful if
useful.
anything in it. If any, as long as stuff in it is still good.
Let's. Should we see if we can, if there's anything to use it with him?
Yeah. And I'm gonna set it down. And pop
It's up to
open
you.
I'm gonna set it down and pop it open.
Okay.
Um,
While you're working on that, Merritt, roll me coordination, composure, I guess, to realign and splint up Rook's leg.
bless or not, that one might wake him up.
You don't know what you're doing, Mara, if we're being honest. You watch TV a lot. Grey's Anatomy. It's your fave show. But you managed to at least maneuver the leg into looking mostly straight before you start like using his pieces of his shirt to lash it onto the driftwood splint. Rebecca, as you open that case, it's so old, like the hinges fall off as you flip them open. Like they come apart in your hand. You open the case up, not feeling terribly confident. But although the labels and the font and the packaging for what's inside look like they are old, everything is sealed. Everything is intact. And everything somehow looks like it's brand new. There is gauze, bandages, alcohol, peroxide.
Is there anything to stitch the wounds with?
Sure. There is silk. There are needles. And there is a single vial of morphine.
And yes, Chef, I'm well aware that most first aid kits do not have stitch materials in them.
Oh no, that wasn't what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, is there something about instructions on how to use any of that?
No.
Hey Jen, can you read evens odds, please, to see if having my leg jerked around is enough to wake me up out of my
You can roll evens odds anytime you want. Which one is evens and which one is odds?
evens is I wake up.
You do not.
Thank God.
I'm glad I don't get yelled at.
Oh, that comes later.
Fair.
Yeah, no. I love how like the one person out of all of us that might have some form of medical skill is the one up on the cliff with the old man.
To be fair, she's using it.
I'm gonna pull out a needle, try to thread it best I can.
Okay.
Once that's threaded and tied, I'm gonna set it on top of something clean looking inside the case. I don't have there's no syringes or anything for the morphine, so we're kind of fucked.
There is. Well, we'll say there is. There are 2 needles, 2 syringes. Now, dose-wise,
Since she's dealing with
Gonna take a guess, say like 10 milligrams or 10 milliliters. I don't know how strong morphine is. I've never been on it personally.
Good thing Braden didn't help. God, that morphine surgery is done. The whole thing.
It's a lot.
You're unconscious. Do you want to roll me acumen wit?
Yeah, I'll try that. One.
Can I roll something to see if I might have any idea?
We're just guesstimating.
Yeah,
Are there
acumen wit.
questions on the side?
You know, the labels have all faded off, so I would assume that has too.
The labels haven't faded off, but like they look like they are from eras past. Mara, you freaking love Grey's Anatomy, and you know that you remember McDreamy at one point saying something about like 3 or maybe like 5 milligrams of morphine, something in there.
Did Rebecca say something about like doing like 10 milligrams or
You see her like with the syringe and the vial,
Just-
like
And just kind of eyeing it as I'm pulling it off.
I'm gonna be like, here, give that to me. I'll take care of this part, and I'll do like I'll do
And the
4 because it's right in the middle. And then I'll do my best to give him a shot.
okay. I mean, he's a stationary target. You're able to do that. Melissa, what are you doing up above?
I'm watching through down below and occasionally looking back, making sure the Boy Scout we have is doing okay with this fire building.
He is doing the motions like if he had some CGI, like we might have been there already. But you know that wood that he gathered is way too damp to actually create a spark.
As long as it keeps him busy and wandering off, that's fine. That's fine. The 3 below are more important right now.
And all of you, as you're kind of busying yourself with different tasks, you hear the long, low rumble of thunder.
Fuck.
That doesn't sound good.
And Mara, do you look up?
Yeah.
When you look up, just coming from the south, you think maybe it's not one of the directions the sun is in, so like something. Coming from a specific direction, you see the most menacing bank of storm clouds you've ever seen in your life. Whatever dim, dusky light there is, because it is getting darker now, is completely blocked out by this incoming storm.
We need to hurry this up and get to some type of shelter. But the clouds look terrible.
All right, give him a shot, then, Doc.
And she does.
Yeah.
Get him suited up.
It's a good thing he's out cold.
Does
It
wait,
is.
And we'll say, just so we're not rolling 14 times for this,
sorry.
you're fine. Rebecca, Mara, what is your plan to get him to shore?
One of us holds it or grabs his legs, the other grabs his upper body, and we just kind of like slowly and carefully swim him over,
Yeah.
like
The
tag
best
team
we can.
lifeguard style.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna drown.
It takes some time. Like I said, I'm just gonna let this happen. I'm not gonna be that much of a bitch about it. It takes some time. By the time you get him through the water back to solid ground, that wind has started to pick up. And the thunder is rumbling more and more. If you glance up every so often, off in the distance, there's a crack of orange lightning. None of you have seen orange lightning before. Maybe it's the atmosphere, maybe it's a latitude. Like, you don't know. None of you know geography, really. None of you know atmospheric science. You're not a meteorologist, but it's weird and off-putting. And all of you feel like it might be important to find some kind of shelter before it gets to you.
You said that this down here, Jen, from the shore, little beach area, was like a little alcove kind of cave thing.
I have just upset roll 20. Hold on. Started strobing at me. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a little alcove indent there. This like right here is a slope up to like the ground above it, where like Brayden and Melissa actually are.
Okay. As soon as we get Rook over here, I'm gonna look inside the little cave and see if there's a spot that's dry far enough back.
It's all damp in there. There are some spots toward the back that clearly sand has kind of like washed up against. But none of you really know the tide patterns of this area. And there's nothing dry. That's for sure.
There's nothing dry up the hill.
Up the
Yeah,
hill,
but-
I have her.
What's
There
that?
was
I
a storm
apologize.
coming in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I had a family thing that just kind of hit me off out of the middle of nowhere. Did I wake up during any of this?
If you want to. Do you want to?
I'm trying to. Yeah,
Okay.
at some point.
So as I like,
Probably during the swim,
I'm gonna say,
like as
I'm-
we're getting out of the water.
I'm gonna say as they lose the benefit of the water keeping you buoyant and smooth sailing, as they kind of like wrestle you out of the water and onto the shore, you start to like jerk yourself awake. You actually feel kind of better. You feel really dizzy and really drunk, but you kind of feel better.
Oh, you're
Did
awake.
someone
Perfect.
Did someone hit me in the head?
No, you passed out from
Oh.
blood loss.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna catch him.
I'll help brace as
Okay.
well.
Thank you.
You passed out from blood loss. We managed to find a first aid kit that everything in it was still sealed.
Wow.
Yeah. We found some morphine. You've had a shot of morphine.
Good shit.
Your side
Good
has been
shit.
stitched.
Oh, motherfucker. Damn, man. Thank you.
Your leg is braced, kind of straightened.
I
We
can't
did the best
feel
we
it for
could.
sure. Give me a little while and I'm probably going to be screaming, but in the meantime, what's the plan?
We're going up.
Trying to get
Storm rolling in.
Okay. Hey, Jen, I remember when we landed, you said that there was like a fiery plane wreck out in the water, but there was a pillar of smoke on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the light level has dropped significantly, are we able to see fire from where that smoke was coming?
You can see the reflection of like orange, yellow up in the sky, like
Mm-hmm.
reflected from the sky itself and from the pillar of smoke. So you are pretty sure that there is a fire that way somewhere.
May I suggest we go towards the fire?
That's a good idea. Here, and I'll slide under his arm to try to help balance him. Because
Thank
you
you.
said, because Chef, you said Rook was like 6 foot.
A little under, but yeah.
Rebecca's only 5.
both of us on one side of Rook trying to make sure we don't all just completely fall.
And I'm doing my best to
I'll
try to favor my leg as best as possible.
and I'll have followed you, like basically walk down the shoreline, and I'm basically there to meet you if you guys need help.
Like scoop up and assist. Brayden, what are you doing? Still working on your fire?
When I saw the storm coming, I decided to go over to Melissa.
Okay.
Melissa, we need to get off this beach before that storm comes in. Y'all head over to the woods with me.
I will once we get the other three up.
That's so
We'll all go together.
Yeah, we'll just say you've all kind of, that said, convened over there on the shore.
Bleeding heart will be the death of us.
This may be the drugs, but did that sound really dirty old man to anybody else?
It's the drugs.
Okay. Away from water, towards the fire. We'll have to figure out some way of getting clean water. Perhaps we can collect the rain that's about to fall.
Maybe.
There's clearly some sort of water source for all these trees to be growing, but I doubt we could get it with what we have.
Maybe. And I'm just moving him, dragging him along the entire time.
Heading toward the
Heading-
trees.
Heading towards the trees and the smoke
Yeah.
and everything.
He's I'm not fully paying attention to what he's saying because
The drugs.
he's high on morphine.
Okay.
Did I get your name?
Mine or hers?
No, I remember you. You're Becky. Did I get your name?
Not my name.
I'm Mara.
Marcia. Okay, thank you.
Brayden, Melissa, are you also going toward the trees or are you doing something else?
As they
No,
get
going
into the
towards
tree
the tree.
line, I'm going to pace and hesitate going into the tree. Just like pacing the tree line as they walk ahead a little bit.
Anyone that wants to notice can.
I'm too busy.
I probably will.
I've got a dying person on my side, unfortunately. I'm a little busy.
I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention to him, just trying to get who I am helping.
Rebecca, Mara, and Rook hobble on forward toward the source of
Yeah.
flickering light, like sad, stranded moths.
It's probably gonna start
Alright,
getting
okay.
using it.
Well, if we can still find an intact part of the plane to put you to use as shelter.
That plane's got a bad track record with me. That fucking plane did this.
Well, this was worse than the time the plane got struck by lightning that I was on.
At least you're alive.
I think you might be a bad luck charm for planes.
So my brother says too.
Melissa, what did you say? You broke up a little bit.
I'll notice that Brandon's hesitate. I'll stick back with them.
Okay.
Do you think there's wolves in there?
We'll climb trees because one of us has a leg and they can't climb trees, so the wolves will likely go after him first.
We'll do like we did in The Hobbit. Climb the trees, burning pine cones. Gandalf style.
Rook, you've kind of wandered ahead of everyone else. Rook and Rebecca and Mara are into the woods by now.
Oh,
Right,
sorry.
it's kind of dark. If the wolves come, they'll go after him first. Ain't like he can run away, huh? Alright, let's go.
I'm
And
gonna like stage whisper over. I'm not sure. He's a nice person.
I'm not
Uh,
sure you can make fully informed decisions right now.
Reba, why would you say that?
as much as I don't,
Blood drugs.
Sounds like a fun party.
as much as I don't necessarily trust his judgment right now, I agree that that other guy doesn't seem great.
See? Mothra likes me.
Calling Ashley's character. Now Ashley's the single mom for Steve Jobs.
Well, first she was Becky, now she's Reba. Eventually, I'm actually gonna get it right just by random chance. But right now, it's more fun for me to be drugged.
Not drugged and insane.
The
Mhm.
two together can be quite a heady combination in my experience.
They get
As you make your way through the woods toward this source of the fire, you realize the deeper you get in the woods, the larger the light source is. That this is not a campfire. This is not a bonfire. This is a full fucking inferno. The smell of burning gas and fumes scalds your nostrils the closer you get. You can feel the heat on your face. You feel a tickle of a cough in the back of your throat.
This seems like a nice place to make camp. What do y'all think? Nice, warm, dry.
potential forest fire.
That's
You
why I didn't
know,
get my roasted wolves.
Where are the woods?
Are we on the mainland? Because I don't think we made it to England, and there aren't wolves in England. So we would have to be on an island, and I don't think there are wolves on islands. So what the hell?
No.
Would you trust anything I said right now? Then I am absolutely, positively, definitely, maybe sure that there are not wolves right here. There aren't, are they?
To us, Move. I said we should leave him behind.
He's drugged. Okay,
Let's set him
they
down.
put morphine.
I'm gonna maneuver Rook over to a nearby tree to slowly set him down.
Thank you. Thank you, tree. You look like a nice tree. I shall name you Arbor.
As though in protest of your given name. Another crackle of thunder and lightning. Much closer now, as the breeze kicks up, wafting smoke and ash and kind of like a circle around you, like it's marking you in spot.
Around just me or around the party?
The group.
Fuck you, Storm. He was my friend first.
I think he's got a lot of unresolved trauma stuff.
I'm sorry, Mitch. I think I spoke over you just earlier.
I was just saying I lifted my trench coat up over my eyes, covered from all the smoke and ash. Wait, do I still have my trench coat on?
You do.
Okay, I obviously don't have my hat. Hat's
You
gone.
don't. Your hat is gone.
My bald spot. He panics and covers a spot that obviously isn't bald.
Alrighty then. I don't know about the rest of you, but I've never seen soft circle around people before, like this.
Does look slightly strange.
Uh,
I'm gonna
So-
investigate it, see if there's any
Yeah.
familiar happenings that I've witnessed in the past in my travels.
Okay.
yeah. Jen, can I roll something with occult, maybe, to see if it seems any sort of familiar?
Sure. It's not a lot to go on, but either of you, as our occult folk, can roll.
The acumen.
Acumen. One second. Acumen, wit, and then if you have occult as an aptitude, you can click the roll with aptitude button.
I've got it as an aptitude, and I've got mythology as specialty. I don't know if the
Yeah.
mythology is gonna help.
Well, you haven't been on this island very long, but Rebecca, you've seen a wave rise up and bitch slap Melissa. And now there's a storm on the horizon. There's swirling winds. Like maybe it's some kind of, if it was something occult, maybe some kind of elemental situation. And that doesn't narrow it down a whole lot. Maybe if you knew what country you were in or even what continent, you could like go down a checklist of gods and spirits and sprites, but you can tell it's kind of weird. You get the feeling that on the spectrum of natural to supernatural, we're leaning towards super. But it's
The orange lightning was kind of a giveaway that it was supernatural.
just like
I
a
think I had
brewing.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure and I can't remember the name of it, but it says believer. I'm trying to remember if that would even.
That's basically a mental defense against attacks, mental attacks.
So it doesn't apply here at all.
You do have something that might apply. Let me check really quick. 1 second. 1 second. Your dread manifestation might fit. Do you want to use your dread manifestation?
I suppose I should, huh?
You
Okay,
don't
yeah,
have
I'll
to.
do it. I'll do it. I'll use Dread Manifestation.
Do you want to read out which one you have?
Dusk Sight. Void Mind, right?
Yep.
Is it the same name for either one? Alright. Anytime your character suspects that power connected to the beyond is in play, you may add 1 minute to your midnight clock and immediately perceive servitors, egregoroi, and even cultists as marked by the sigil of the dread being they serve, although they may not recognize them. Additionally, your character can identify the theme of the dread manifestations they witness in use.
Okay. So add your time to the clock. I believe for you it is 6 seconds. So it is going to be the red box. There at the beginning.
Yeah, I got it in there.
Okay, cool. You know this is something weird, and this is maybe nothing you've come across before, but all of a sudden you tune in a way you've never really tuned in before. And all of these powers, these dread manifestations, come with a physical sign. So, what does it look like when you tune into the world just beyond what normal people are able to see?
His eyes go from being the normal steel blue gray to a bright yellow, bright matte yellow. It doesn't glow.
Is anyone looking at him right now?
I was kind of looking at the after I set Rook down, I kind of just turned and was facing the whole group. So, yes, kind of.
Just kind of.
I don't know if I'm at. I don't know if I'm at an angle and distance to be able to like see his eyes change color since we're surrounded by an orangey flame.
You're on drugs. Don't worry about it. You're good.
You're high. You're high on life.
You're fine. As the color of your eyes shift, you see in the fleeting breeze, the one that had been circling around you, something green. Like not fabric, but it flowed like fabric. And it was slightly transparent. And as soon as it circled all around all of you, it kind of dissolved into nothing. So you know, without a doubt, that there is something, some kind of creature, some kind of force here.
Just a dust devil. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You've got a vacuum? Why would you have a vacuum on an island?
What? A
The dust
vacuum?
devil. Yeah, the red one?
He really is on something strong. What did you give him?
Morphine.
Old morphine.
Oh, well. Yeah, we're getting chased by a vacuum.
Mara, Melissa, what are you guys doing? Or what would you like to do? You can continue deeper into the woods to get to where the fire actually is. It may not be safe, but you do have the storm coming. It seems like it's going to be powerful, and it's getting dark.
Does it look like we have?
I'm probably. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Does it look like there are any like other slightly safe directions besides out to the storm or the fire?
Roll me. Roll me intuition and composure for that one. What were you gonna say, Melissa?
I'm just gonna look around. See, we have enough cover because I'm preferring we all together and with our injured teammate. I'm more concerned about him and his safety and making sure, rather than moving further deep.
As you look up, there is significant canopy coverage, but if there's something like hail or lightning, the woods aren't going to be safe. Mara, as you look around, you see in one direction there's obviously the fire. The woods get more and more dense that way. But if you sort of coast back toward where this tree line started, there's a slope that goes upward that maybe you'll be able to find like an outcropping. It gets rockier, it gets more dense and less sandy. That way, maybe you can find a cave or at least like an overhang you could shelter underneath. But in that direction, it's going to be darker. You don't have as much light from the plain fire.
I might suggest that maybe some like one person comes with me to well, probably I'll suggest maybe Rebecca comes with me to see if it looks a little bit safer up that way, because we don't want to carry Rook with us at the moment if we don't have to. And like Brayden seems to want to stick with Melissa, so having them all stay there would be best. So I'll see if I can convince Rebecca to come with me to check that way.
How do you convince her?
I thought I saw a path up that way towards when we were first coming into the woods. It looked like it went up higher. It might be a little bit better, a little bit safer. Do you want to come with me?
Sure.
Awesome.
You're not just to make sure, you're not a serial killer, are you?
No.
What are the odds there would be two here?
As far as I'm aware, there's only one. Maybe.
Hopefully. Hopefully none.
What's that?
Yeah.
Is she like away from the group, or is she huddled up with the group?
I'm with the group. You know, I'm occasionally keeping an eye on surroundings and everything, but I'm not far off.
I talked to you for a moment over here. I'm like a good distance away from the group.
Sure. I'll go with the purported serial killer.
So, earlier when that wind was spinning in the circle, did you see that weird green thing? Is that just me? Am I going crazy?
I saw the ash and smoke circling us, but not a green thing.
I must
Are
have been
you-
just
Are you stuck in front of your eye?
I'm sorry, what was that? I'm a little hard of hearing.
Are you seeing spots in front of your eye? Double vision. How many fingers am I holding
Two. You're holding up 2 fingers.
up? Okay.
There was something green. It was floating around. Kind of like a piece of fabric, but it didn't really act with the wind as much as it was kind of like pushing the wind, it sort of looked like.
You had a head injury. I think that might have been a symptom of it. I mean, because clearly I didn't see the green thing.
Maybe I'm just seeing things from the head injury. I think you're right.
Does anybody stay with Rook?
Rook is leaning against a tree, high on
I'm
drugs.
not far away from Rook. I'm just like maybe 5 to 10 feet away from him. Enough that I can talk under my breath to Melissa without him hearing.
Fair.
Did you guys take a light with you? Couldn't find like a burning stick or something?
Probably could have.
Well, they're out of earshot now.
What do you think of that?
Away you guys go.
Stay in a group, Melissa. These people seem shady.
Give me one of you, and you can decide amongst yourselves which one. Give me an acumen wit. No, give me an acumen vigilance.
Oh.
Gee, do you have anything that would apply to that?
That is what I am.
No.
No.
No aptitude for that, I promise.
So we're both black. Okay. I'll go ahead and roll it. You said acumen and vigilance?
All right.
Hey.
Nice. Okay.
Good job.
You guys,
That had been a one. I was gonna roll. It could have been seconds.
that's fair. You follow Mara, basically, back away from the group, back toward the entrance to the tree line, back toward where the soil gets sandier and rockier, and you kind of start to make your way up a slope. And about 20 feet up the slope, something catches your eye. It's overgrown by trees. It's really dark, so it's hard to tell. But it looks like there may be a small cave. Not large enough from what you can tell for, like, I don't know, a bear. But you could fit at least several humans in there if you huddled together really well. And as another bolt of lightning crackles across the sky, you're able to see into the hole, and it's empty. No animals lurking inside.
Hey Mara, what about this over here? And I'll point out
That
the cave.
that looks like an excellent spot to me.
All right,
Let's go
backtrack and
get
go
the
get the others.
others.
Hopefully they didn't kill Rook.
I mean, I wouldn't blame it after what he said.
I mean, I'm a writer, so like serial killers are kind of a whole thing I would think I could notice, but you never
Let's go get them.
know. We're just gonna make it out.
Just exactly following your own footprints. Just trying to Hansel and Gretel your way back to where everyone else
Yeah.
were. Okay.
Drop little breadcrumbs along the way.
It's fine.
Some cat paws.
Melissa, Braden, Rook, if you're paying attention, you see after maybe 15 minutes, Rebecca and Mara reemerge, eerily lit up by the firelight through the trees.
Found a cave. It's
Look,
smaller
it
than
looks
what
good.
fit- smaller than what fit a bear. It looked empty.
It looks like
Okay.
the safest option right now.
Okay. I will. What do you want to be? Can you walk, or do you need to be gated? How?
I can limp with help.
Okay.
We should bring fire with us.
Good idea.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Mara, if you'll start gathering up some firewood to bring with us, I'll grab a stick.
Alright.
Like a sizable branch, if possible, to go light on fire and use as a makeshift torch to
Okay.
carry the fire.
Okay.
I'll Rook to his feet.
Is there a stick or something I could use as like a walking staff to help?
I'm gonna point at the guy in the trench coat, whose name I don't know. Would you be willing to help? Sorry, what was your name? Then pointing at Melissa.
No, Melissa.
Would you be willing to help Melissa carry Rook over up to the cave?
Hmm?
What was that note you cut out?
How heavy is he? You
I
know, I'm
weigh
kind of beat up too.
Well, at least
one
he's not.
rook's worth.
At least he's not dead weight now, like he was in the water when he was unconscious.
If you wanna, if you don't want to help him, you can take this firewood and I can help him.
I think that might be better because I might get hurt and end up dropping him. So, it's probably better someone who's a bit more or a bit less beat up helps carrying. I got some bruised ribs. My shoulder was out of socket earlier. I hurt my back. This one says I have a concussion, points at Melissa. I was saying things earlier, too, so I think she might be right.
Very likely. All right. And like I said, I'm just grabbing the biggest like branch, the stick thing I can find on the ground, just to walk over and light it on fire,
Okay.
bracing the heat, holding it out as far in front of me as I can.
You're gonna have to cycle through a couple of branches before you find one that is damp enough not to like just burn up immediately, but dry enough to actually catch fire. But after a minute or two, you've got a torch.
And we'll walk back towards the group, careful to not like accidentally set any of the trees on fire. All right, follow me.
All right, so we have Rebecca with her torch. We have Brayden with the firewood.
Yep.
We got Mara and Melissa. Were you helping Rook along?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Eminem, we're helping the castle guy.
All together.
What happened? What happened to the med kit?
Still on the beach where you were when you woke up.
Perhaps
The
that
first
might be
time.
useful for patching everyone up.
Drugs?
I was unconscious. I don't know who did what when.
Well, the
But
latch is kind of disintegrated, so carrying it all would have been a bit of a task along with you.
I'm not faulting you. I'm simply asking for information.
Hopefully it will still be.
That would be real trouble trying to find you more of your fix out here.
I'm just
Uh,
trying to
That is a tobacco habit.
Oh, Judge, I'm just glad we don't have to, find some more resources. We know we gotta make morphine out here.
Find poppies. Distill poppies. Hope we did it right and don't die.
Like a risk. Wouldn't you rather just, go through the pain, tough it out, like a man?
All right, Grandpa, just because that's what they did back in your day.
My therapist said that is incredibly toxic, and I should actively avoid people who tell me that I need to be like a insert something here. I worry
Your
about you.
therapist is full of shit.
You didn't get hugged very much, did you? I know the feeling. Do you need a hug?
Don't touch me.
Can you help me over there so one of us can, so I can hug him? Because he clearly needs one.
You can
As
pretty much
the
have a
little-
hug in the cave.
Just kind of
Let's get-
standing there with the torch, just watching this. Can we keep going before this gets any lower and starts burning my hand?
Yeah,
Please?
let's go.
We're
Okay.
moving.
Led by Rebecca. Mara is helping
With the torch.
with the hobbled body. You guys start to head back to that little cave that you found. As again, lightning and thunder almost right above your heads. And the quiet pitter-pat of the beginning of some kind of storm as water starts to hit the leaves above your head. The torch flickers every now and then with new moisture sizzling. And as you reach the cave, it's like the heavens open up and rain pours from the skies.
As soon as like it starts to come down heavier, I'm getting the top of the torch in the cave. That way it stays dry at least to preserve our fire.
Everyone roll me intuition and vigilance. Everybody.
Hey. Um, hey, chef.
Yes.
Just a reminder, you can spend a second per fail or per failed die to reroll that failed die if you would like.
Or you just let it happen because it could be fun.
But yeah, or that.
Yeah. At this point, this
He's on
fits pretty well with him still being drugged. So I'm not gonna fight this one.
Okay.
But thank you for reminding me about the mechanics because I would have needed some help on that later.
Mara, you realize as you're trying to escape this downpour of rain that it's unexpectedly warm.
What else is warm? Gross. I can't believe this.
Rebecca, Brayden, Melissa. In the flickering light of the torch, you realize first that this rain is dark. It's wetting you, it's wetting your clothes, it's wetting the ground all around you. Darker than you think it should be. And it takes your brain a second to catch up. But eventually the smell hits you. Acidic, metallic blood.
So, just to make sure, does my
Rook,
psychology aptitude fall into to play with what I'm about to ask to roll?
I don't know, but 1 second. Rook, you feel the warmth, you smell the smell, and you immediately think your wounds have opened up. You are bleeding out all over again. That smell is your blood. You are dying. Take another minute. As panic hits and you are kind of paralyzed, trying to figure out what just went wrong.
Okay. We probably need to go find that med kit
Yeah.
because I don't know what you did, but it clearly is not working. Am I the only one who smells my own blood?
No, it's raining blood.
Oh, seeing this too, right?
Seeing
This
it,
isn't
Which
from the
one's-
concussion.
Bullshit. Much more likely that I'm bleeding out for the quantity of blood I smell than it's somehow raining blood.
With him panicking like that, like, can I like, am I able to see like physically if it looks like anything? Like, is there enough light from the fire left that we're able to see if anything is like opened up?
Under this dark downpour, it is impossible almost immediately to see what the blood already was on him versus like the brand new red that has suddenly appeared all over all of you. What did you want to roll,
I had
Ashley?
For the blood, for when it started, we've been raining blood and we realized it was blood. I was wondering if I could roll the resilience plus metal to keep it together.
Just as a choice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's raining blood. Who
It is
fucking
sure the
knows?
hell is. It sure the hell is.
And I was wondering, would my aptitude in psychology come into play yet?
I'm gonna say no because you're not analyzing other people. You are,
Okay.
and you're not trying to calm yourself down. This is just like a freak out chick.
Got a 1.
You see, you take some,
Success adds no.
you take some deep breaths. You feel the panic. You feel a panic surge, like that kind of panic where you literally don't understand what's happening, and so your brain has no idea what to do. It's just stalled. Do you keep trying to build a fire? Do you get into the cave?
I'm going into the cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm in the
Yep.
cave, I'm turning around and facing everyone else like, come on, let's go. In the cave. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm gonna
Start
okay,
blood here.
pulling
Your first
Right
idea is to
there.
go into a tiny cave that we barely fit in.
better than standing out there.
My first idea is to get us all inside somewhere where it's not raining blood currently. And
Blood isn't gonna hurt you. I mean, look, I'm standing in it right now. I'm just fine. And
bring the
answer me
firewood.
this: What if
Bring the
something?
firewood.
What if something comes in front of that pole and we're all trapped in there?
That's a risk I'm willing to take. Bring the firewood.
Your firewood. I'll find something to stay out of the rain without going in a tiny claustrophobic cave.
You're gonna be out there. Can you go get the med kit so we can patch everyone else up?
At this
I think
point,
the Woohoo!
it is entirely too dark to make your way back to the beach without some source of light.
Listen, I can sit under my trench coat out here. It's big enough to shield me from the blood rain. I'll be right next to the mouth of the cave.
All right.
Okay.
So who's
It's
going into the cave?
Fucking crazy.
I'm going in the cave.
Going in the cave, going in the cave, going in the cave. Okay. Brayden's the only one staying outside of the cave. Do you try to set up the wood to make an actual fire?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly, as you watch them pile up wood and hold like the, at this point, smoldering fire up underneath, you know it is not going to set. You know that fire is not going to spark. You know in your soul. But it does. It's a little bit of a sputter, a little bit of a struggle, but eventually the still wet driftwood, the still wet twigs and branches that everyone had gathered, eventually they catch, and a small but steady fire sits there in front of you.
Once the fire is started, and the 4 of us are at least in the cave, because Braden said he was sitting outside the mouth of it with his trench coat over his head, right, Mitch?
Yeah.
As soon as the fire started, we're going over, checking on Rook, and like wiping as much blood off as I can, trying to make sure his wounds haven't opened back up. While I'm doing
Hey, give me finish your sentence and then I'll.
can I use my dread manifestation on Rook?
You can. You always can.
Okay. Where the fuck did I go? I'm up there.
Add your minute. And what dread manifestation do you have?
I have Soothe from the Vital Touch dread manifestation power list.
Mm-hmm.
I add a minute to my character's midnight clock as they observe another touched character for 10 seconds or 1 combat round. At the end of the round, the target may roll all their accrued distress dice and reduce their minute hand as if they had engaged in their solace trigger. If they are actively engaging in their solace trigger, they roll the check twice and reduce minutes accordingly. Because Chef is currently at a couple of minutes now.
Okay.
They'll get at least 1.
He has at least two then. What does this look like to other people? It's not something you've ever done before. Was it something you just knew you could do all of a sudden, or?
It's kind of more of a I'm just trying to make sure he's okay and everything, and trying to calm him down, reassure him that his wounds haven't opened. As I'm doing that, and the dread manifestation happens, the stereotypical, the typical heart shape starts to glow over my heart, and it glows a bright green.
Everyone in that
And
cave, all of a sudden, it's not just the faint yellow firelight casting shadows on you. All of a sudden, coming from Rebecca's body is a faint green glow. And Rook, if you could roll me 2d4. Remove one of those minutes.
Thank you.
This faint green glow, you are still extremely high, but you kind of suddenly feel calmer. You suddenly feel a little better, a little safer. There's no reason to feel safe. You're drenched in blood after a plane crash in a mystery cave. And
Is your tit glowing?
does anyone else react?
I
Give you all the
love that that's
opportunity.
the way you phrased that.
Brayden instinctively goes to reach for his journal that's in his trench coat. Did it stay there, or is it gone from the
It's
plane crash?
gone.
He looks down, he's like, oh, man. I really needed to write that down. That was some freaky shit.
And I look down as the glow is fading. The fuck?
What was that?
I mean, he wasn't wrong. It was glowing.
I don't know.
Always glow like that.
No, that's the first time that's ever happened. I was just making sure Rook was okay, and that his wounds hadn't
It's a
reopened.
pretty color.
And Rook being the only one that is like close enough to notice, it is the same color green that Rebecca's eyes are.
Okay.
I know it's hard to see because it's dark here, but my eyes are actually green.
Okay.
Yes, I have. As soon as I saw my dread manifestation, I immediately knew what color it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be matching eye color.
Beautiful. And everybody else, as you sit there, Mara, Melissa, do you say anything?
I don't
I
even
just-
know what to say.
You just both stare at her as she's
Yeah.
tending to Rook's
There-
wounds.
I'm wondering if I have more wrong with me from the plane crash than I thought I did previously.
As you
I'm thinking.
go ahead.
I'm thinking back to Brayden thing that he was tenuous link. I'd wait to see if there's more green. That'd be interesting.
Coincidence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As you all kind of settle into the cave, you realize you feel a little better, exhausted from whatever the hell has just happened. Rebecca, as you swipe away the blood on Rook's body to try and see what he's talking about, what's happened, if he's still all stitched up, you realize that the cut on his side has gotten smaller. And the more you stare at it, the more you wipe away the blood, the smaller and smaller it gets
Huh.
Brayden, your head starts to feel lighter and clearer. Melissa, your stomach, the muscles, the structures beneath that throbbing ache, that starts to ease up. Rebecca, the cut on your hand starts to close. And you all can return to full health.
My leg is better.
Your leg is better as the storm rages outside. And that's where we're going to wrap up tonight.
Some freaky shit happening in that cave.
Yay! Freaky shit!
Don't go in that cave.
This cave makes it makes the pain stop. This is good cave. We like cave.
Safe cave. Cave safe. It was great.
So, guys, just so you know, my dread manifestation is the same one Jen had in the first season of the Midnight World.
It is. It is. It is.
As soon as I saw that, I knew how I was going to play this.
Yay! Great job, everybody, especially with a brand new game and a brand new system. How are you guys feeling?
I like it. It's fun.
Good.
I like it.
I'm enjoying it.
I think they're picking it up quite well. What do you think, Jen?
Mm-hmm. And the
It
role
feels
play? Heck yeah.
They're
Yeah.
picking
You
it.
have to play it as you don't know what's happening.
Right? Perfect.
Yeah.
We are
I don't know why it shouldn't work, so it works.
Yeah.
we are gonna do props in this here game. Props are just for feel goods. They don't really reward anything. You only get rewarded if you're stressed out. So tough. Any volunteers for firsties? Go for it.
All right, I'll go first.
Me?
Or Chef.
Chef.
You go first.
Chef goes
Oh.
first.
Okay, I have got to give it to Mitch, just for the sheer raunchiness, the bitter, angry, fuck the world, I don't care that you're hurt, rub some dirt on it kind of mentality that he somehow managed to keep after going through a plane crash, having a concussion, and dealing with my druggedness, still managed to keep something resembling a level head. That was very, very interesting, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Just in terms of the way your character runs versus the way like mine does, because I think this is gonna be like one of my favorite kind of dynamics to play. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Melissa.
I love the drug addledness of look, but the Mothra bit that yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, that
That's sweet.
naming the tree and stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Rebecca.
Oh, I gotta give it to. I gotta give it to Melissa for being the only one here, as far as I'm aware, that has any level of medical know-how, and being the only one to not being the one not to do any fucking medical stuff. Plus the fact that she was just dealing with
Brayden.
Brayden.
Think of the most obnoxious name you can. Brayden.
When I got everybody's like characters in, I was like, oh no. Most of you are absolutely ill-equipped for this entire environment. This will be fun. Mara.
I am going to give props to, well, everybody was fun to like see. But probably the like high on morphine, like all of that, like that was a lot of fun. And then the different names you were coming up with, but just it was perfect.
That was thanks to you and your care, Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Because
you
of
for
you,
that.
I didn't get murdered
And
with a morphine overdose.
You can thank Grey's Anatomy.
I'll call McDreamy McSteamy as soon as my phone starts working again.
Brayden.
You still have yours?
I gotta give it to Rebecca because they are going to be the moral glue that holds this band of strangers together. Rebecca's the only string holding us together, and it's a very thin, like spider thread.
If you knew my backstory, there's a reason for it.
Perfect.
Now Braden's really interested in Rebecca. That green glow. Like, okay, freaky shit's happening. At least I'm learning.
Furious. All right. Well, thank you everybody for playing. Sure.
Thank you
Shut.
for running it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You're
Um,
welcome. You did very, very well.
Again, if you're joining us on YouTube, if you could, pretty please, like, subscribe, and comment. Just tell the internet gods what to do. Discord, feel free to join us. We talk about a lot of stuff, some of it relevant, some of it not. And we have Patreon if you want to give us your money. I just went full Avenue Q in my head.
As Jen and Mateo both are very fond of saying, all money goes right back into the games
It does.
and the streams.
It
Either it's upgrading equipment, merch, buying books and sharing them with players, as they are so fond of doing,
Yeah.
or even maps.
Which I purchased for this game, but it's just for
But you don't. But you
help.
don't have shown on.
Sorry, guys. It's just our secret. You should join one of my games if you want to see the maps. Anyway, if you want to join a game, join our Discord, because that's where submissions and casting calls come. And thanks for joining us tonight. You have witnessed the very first foray into Snare Island Midnight World game. We were joined.
Have upcoming games? Other games?
We do. We have, starting on Friday and Wednesday on YouTube, Daggerheart, run by DM Dizzle. Super excited about that. And then next Friday will be our YouTube exclusive premiere of Demon the Fallen Aperture. And some of these, yeah.
Up in this game because I applied thinking I was applying to the Daggerheart, and then I saw I was in this, and I was like, I'm rolling with it. Oh well.
Oh well, well, I'm happy to have you.
I didn't even know I applied to this game until you invited me to the Snare Island chat. Oh, I guess that was it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? It's a good fucking thing you are.
It's a good group. Surprise. Well,
Surprise,
it all
Mitch.
worked out.
You're now of touch.
Right, crotchety old man.
We've been accidentally joined by Mitch, Braden, Ashley, the everything, as Rebecca, Chi Chai Tea, as Morrow, Chef as Rook, and the Lushak as Melissa. Thanks for hanging out with us. Love you very much. I hope you have a good night. Feel free to stop by and join us anytime. Bye!